What's on guys, we're back with a brand new video. In today's video, I'll be talking about the problems I have with the trade period in the AFL slash the free agency and anything that happens in the off season, and something that I reckon they could improve on during this off season to make it a better viewing experience, and a better system of how the trade period is run. So feel free after you watch what I think about the trade period. Drop down below what you think, and I'll reply to some of your comments of what questions you have for what I think. So without further ado, make sure to drop a like and a subscribe, and also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They're all linked down below. First point that I see is that I feel like the AFL trade period needs to treat it more like a business. Right now, the only way that clubs can get rid of players if they formally request a trade or they get delisted. Whereas we look at other sports around the world like the NFL, like soccer and AFL, all sports like that, you can, like, the players can just trade players whatever they want, and they use them as like assets. Like in the NBA, they have this thing like it's like non-consensual trading. Like the player doesn't want to get traded to Sydney. Bad luck, you're getting traded to Sydney. Like, it's like we're not playing local football where if you don't want to, like, you crack the shits if you get traded to some other place. I just feel like that the whole this community just need to look at. I know like people love the loyalty and if people want to stick to a club, but if you're not good enough to stay at a football club, why should you get praised for it? Like, the only players that should be are like, you know, the Nick Riewolds of the world, the Joel Selwoods, the champion players that deserve to stay at the football club. You don't want some guy that's an average footballer, but he doesn't want to leave the football club. He's probably decent enough to get a contract, but like the players, like the club actually could get something for him or something like that. So I'd love to see that. I kind of like what the Adam Treloar situation happened. Like other sports around the world would look at that Adam Treloar situation and laugh at it about why there was so much, anger between the community and all this stuff. And I reckon that we should just start treating it more, like a business. Like the clubs should be treated like a business, not a community football club. I know some people probably will be against this, but I feel like that's how you bring AFL to a different level. And if AFL want to go internationally, I feel like that's a good way that you could get it done. Bringing more business to the football club landscape instead of treating it like a little local football club. But I know this is probably a bit of a controversial take, but drop down in the comments what you think about it. So free agency in the AFL is a bit weird. To be an unrestricted free agent, which pretty much means you can choose wherever you want to play and no one can stop you doing this. The player has to be out of contract before as a restricted free agent and has played at least 10 years at a club, or the player is not in the top 25% of earners at the football club. This pretty much means that say if you want to go out and get a really good footballer, you have to wait at least 10 years or you trade for him, which is just ridiculous. Like, the player pretty much has to be locked in once they're drafted there, unless they requested a trade. They have to be there for 10 years before they can actually freely move in free agency, which is I just feel like that's just not right. They have to be there for 10 years to be an unrestricted free agent. And obviously, if you're not one of the best players at the football club, then you can move freely and all that stuff. But to be honest, if you're not, like, players aren't really, going out their way to get you as a football player if you're not in the top 25%. Like, they might sign you, take a chance on you, but the players that they want to make the big free agency moves is the guys that, are in the top 25% of earners at the football club, because they're the stars you want to try to get to your football club to make your football club better. Yeah, you can get some role players in free agency these days, but it's really hard to get a great player over the line. Like, in the last recent years, we saw Jeremy Cameron, who actually got matched, like, because he was a restricted free agent, and then you got Brad Crouch, who ended up getting waved through, and he could actually go for the free agency. But it's just some craziness going on. How I would fix this problem is I reckon that they should be able to, once they are off their rookie contract, their first contract, they're restricted then, but after they sign another contract, then they're off the books. So that means it's only your first time you had a contract where you're a restricted free agent, and then after that, then you're an unrestricted free agent. So say your first contract is about a 4-year contract. You come out of your first free agency, you're a restricted free agent at the age of 22. Let's say you're like, I don't mind this football club, but I might test my options in a couple of years. You sign a 2-year contract, you're there until you're 24 years old, and then you have a free choice of where you want to go. And you're probably thinking, well, that's not fair on the club, but the club should be working harder to want to keep this player. The player just wouldn't want to leave, just because he wants to leave. He's leaving because of a reason. So if the player wants to leave because of a reason, he should not be, forced to be there because he's a restricted free agent or anything like that, or he'll going to have to request a trade or something like that. He's just got to pick where he wants to play, and if the club treats him right, then they can feel free to be able to move around. So that's my thoughts on that. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. So thanks for watching, guys. This is the end of today's video. That's the real big problems I saw with this year's trade period and previous trade periods in general. And I hope that one day they can implement these type of things into the AFL trade period. But drop some other problems you have with the trade period down in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.